going to find the spine of this rod. Real easy. The way I've done it in the past is just rolling the rod on a hard surface and in your hand, and then I just kind of mark the underside of that bend with a China marker. Use a white one, nothing crazy. So usually the thinner pieces, your end pieces, are the ones that are easier to find. So you're just going to take the wider end, place it on something hard, and then you're going to put the tip in the palm of your hand, and you're just going to kind of roll that back and forth, and you'll feel that there's a natural spot where that rod wants to sit in that lower bent position. And it feels like it's right about there. Yeah, right there. Okay, so then I'll hold it there in that position. Take my marker and just make just a little white hash with the China marker. That lets me know that's the underside of that rod. So when I build it, the guides will sit on the underside of that and take advantage of that natural bend where that rod wants to be. And you just repeat the process with each piece. There it is. Okay. It's a little bit harder to find on your end pieces. They don't bend as much. They're pretty stout, but you'll feel, oh, that one's actually pretty easy to find. Put it right there. Okay. So now you need to line these up, and then you can mark out your tip section, your guides, spread them apart, measure them out to whatever the rod manufacturer specifications say. And we'll go over that in a little bit. Okay, so I am going to mark out the spacing for my guides on the blank. Pretty easy to do. The last time I did this, I did it using like a tape measure, and it worked. It worked fine. You can do that. Anyway, after the last rod I built, I ordered this stick-on measuring tape here, and I'm lucky I got a space to lay this kind of stuff out onto and work all in one piece. But if you don't, a tape measure works fine. So anyway, let's get going. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put my blank together. I kind of have the spine marked out. I eyeballed the tops and bottoms of each section to line up. And then once you have that lined up, I am going off of the spacing chart that Proof provided me, and got real fancy with it. Piece of cardboard with the numbers. Okay, so I'm going to take my China marker. Not sure if you can see it in the camera or not, probably not from that view, but I have this little white hash here that's showing me the bottom of my rod when we found the spine earlier. So my first mark is going to be 4 inches from the top. So there's 4 inches. I'm just going to give that a little mark. Now that will be the center of the guide, so your foot would sit on each side of that and the ring itself would be centered on that. Okay. Next one down is 9 inches. And then we're going to go down to 14 and 15/16. Okay, and we're going to move down to 21 and 13/16. Adjust this real quick. So we're at 21 and 13/16. Now we're going down to 29 and 3/4. Again, here's the top or the bottom of my spine, so I know I'm good there. 29 and 3/4. And, you know, don't worry about making a mistake. You can always rub this stuff off, start over, or redo it. 38 and 9/16. That was 29 and 3/4, that last one. 38 and 9/16. Now we got 48 and 7/16. 59 and 1/4. And my last one, which would be my stripping guide, will be at 71. Okay. So, pretty basic. That's how we're going to mark our guide. So again, right now I'm not super concerned if they're in the distance wise. Yes, I want them to be right on, but as far as being left or right, you can fine tune that as you're wrapping your guides. So the first time I built the rod, I found it nice to get that tip top on as a point of reference when you're sighting down the rod, and then also the handle as well. So I might start wrapping guides here shortly. That's when I'm going to get Amelia involved in it and see how that goes. Do a couple and show her and go from there. All right, signing out.